everybody. Welcome to the July 8th, 2022 edition of News from the Front Lines of Business by D.W. Huff Consulting. We don't really have any fun with numbers this week. We're going to kind of skip over that and get kind of right into it. So we are kind of in full scale tax planning mode and tax projection mode. So we have an article on our website that kind of shows the Schedule C as well as the S Corporation return with some sections to consider. So if you haven't already categorized things this way, we want to kind of look at this form here. There's a lot of overlooked deductions. So the first one we see is car and truck expenses, and I think most people know, in driving around, advertising the business, going to meetings and things of that nature. The mileage rate, it gets either a standard mileage rate or an actual percentage of business use on the car. So I guess now's the time to kind of start tracking those miles. So if you're not already, keeping tabs on where you went and why you went there, now's a good time then to go back and get that stuff caught up for the year and keep some kind of written log. That's one of the requirements. We do need a contemporaneous written log of the business use of your vehicle. So that's an expense there that it's surprisingly high in a lot of cases. Employee benefit program. So Schedule C, you're not going to be able to do much of this for yourself, but things you could do for your employees. It's not just health insurance, but there are some other types of reimbursements that are available to your employees. We look at the other business expenses, and travel is another one that's kind of overlooked a lot of times. Whether you're a C corporation, a Schedule C or a S corporation, that travel comes into play because you can you're allowed to have a board of directors meeting. So you don't want to be you don't want to treat it as a shareholder meeting because it's different, right? So if you're a shareholder, you're an investor. That's considered to be like going to a Schedule D seminar. So it's different from a directors meeting. So you're allowed to have those board of directors meetings. This is widely used. If you have a small business there, you can have some family members that are in a position where they advise you, and you have this, make a vacation into a board meeting basically, and that way now your travel expenses are deductible, lodging is deductible. So a lot of these expenses that you ordinarily wouldn't take because you might be thinking of it as a vacation. Conduct business, have the board of directors meeting, talk about some strategies and things that are business related, and then that makes it a write-off. So we kind of like that. But you notice the S Corp and the Schedule C are kind of the same, with one different here. I guess as I'm looking ahead at compensation of officers, we've got to be careful. If we're an S corporation, we're paying ourselves a reasonable salary. So we can't get too overboard with that technique you see a lot of people doing where they take next to nothing as salary and treat it all as a distribution. So we don't like that. It's got to be reasonable compensation. But another line item is rent. So you can, if you have a physical location that you're operating out of, you can rent that. If you own it, you can rent it to the S corporation, and that brings down that taxable income. Also, what we see a lot of times is rent can be home office. So if you bring work home, you work from some spare bedroom in your office, and when you do some things when you need to get a second location, you're allowed to reimburse yourself for that expense. So that's nice because you're going to get it as a deduction on the S corporation, and since it's considered to be a reimbursement of an expense, you don't have to worry about picking up any personal income in this situation. So track the business use percentage of the house, of the office as it relates to the whole house, and those deductions are out there as well. So this is the time you to kind of really think about those things and put in place our record keeping so that we can capture those things and use them later. So that's about it for this week. Really, we're in full-blown planning mode here. But my closing thought here, Seneca here, we treat the body rigorously so that it wouldn't be disobedient to the mind. So it has a lot to do with discipline and working your body so that when your mind has a different thought here, your body can handle the stress. So I guess it's another throwback to working out and and participating in physical activity on a regular basis. It's kind of good for you. So anyway, that's it for this week, guys. Get back at it next week, and I hope y'all have staying cool here and have a good summer. Talk to y'all later.